Come to think of it, I've had this channel for almost 6 years and I've never made a staking video, which I feel like is insane because I feel like every YouTuber has made a staking video at one point. So I guess it's my turn. Now before we start, I don't go staking often, and when I do, I always do this system and it's always made profit for me. So for me, it's always worked. I know there's some hardcore stakers out there who will look at this and just be like, what are you doing? But for me, who doesn't stake a lot, who if anything just does small stakes every once in a while, this has always worked for me. I've always made profit off this. So for me, this system has worked. It may not work for everybody. This system is called the martingale system, in this case, just double up staking on old school. To put it simply, it's basically the strategy has the gambler double his bet after every loss. So let's say I stake 1 mil and lose. I will then go ahead and stake 2 mil. If I lose that 2 mil, I'll stake 4 mil. If I lose that 4 mil, I'll stake 8 mil. If I lose that, I'll stake 16 mil, and so on and so on. At the end of the day, you're always going to be making a profit. The thing is, the profit you make isn't going to be huge. It's always going to be 1 mil. So let's say I start with 50 mil staking, okay? And I lose the first one. I'm down to 49 mil. All right, let's say I lose the second one. I lose 2 mil, I'm down to 47 mil. Let's say I even lose the next one. I'm down to 43 mil. However, if I win the 8 mil, I'm up to 51 mil. So I started with 50, I'm up to 51, and now I've made 1 mil profit, and now the process starts again. Now basically what I'll keep doing is I'll keep winning. Let's say I win these 1 mils. I always start with 1 mil. Let's say I keep winning these 1 mils. That's the profit I'm going to be making. So if I win the 1 mil, I'll just keep going with the 1 mils. Now, quick note that 50 mil is actually a terrible amount of starting cash to do this method with, because if I lose 5 in a row, let's say I lose that 16 mil stake, then I'm down to 19 mil cash and I can't double up anymore. So I have to win that 19 mil to even think about making profit. And if I lose that 19, obviously I'm done. So this method really requires a bigger cash stack. I just wanted to show you guys, how I would occasionally do it with a lower cash stack. And obviously you have to get a bit more lucky when you have a lower cash stack. So obviously higher cash stack, more profit. Now some people just keep going with the 1 mil profits because eventually it's going to add up to a bigger number. But for me, what I do is once I've made 5 mil profit, I stake the 5 mil. And then if I win that, I get 10 mil profit and I can stake that again, make 20 mil profit, or I lose it and I go back to 50. But at the end of the day, I'm never really losing money. Now there's a couple issues with this system. One is that if you start with too low of a starting amount of cash, then you will eventually, I guess, lose all of it if you don't go on a streak. So let's say you start with 50 mil, but you lose like 8 in a row. You pretty much have lost all your cash and you can't build back. The safest way to play this system is if you have a huge amount of starting cash. That way you can afford to lose like 13, 14 stakes in a row, but still win that 15th stake, and then you've made your profit back. So doing this with a low starting cash obviously is pretty sketchy, but every time I do it, I always get lucky. I do occasionally lose 4 or 5 in a row, but I always win that 6th one. I don't know why. I don't think I've ever lost more than 6 stakes in a row. Now for you stakers out there saying, I've lost 432 stakes in a row, this method is stupid. I don't go staking that often, so I've never gone on a losing streak like that. So for me, I don't know. I can't really say that's happened to me when it hasn't. I think that max combat staking with a tentacle whip, and as long as you pay attention to the rules that are set, is always going to be 50-50 no matter what. The only things you really have to pay attention for are getting scammed and making sure that you put up the right amount of cash. Now, I already know for a fact that people are going to comment, why not just chuck it, okay? If it's 50-50, why not just chuck it? It's pretty much the same thing. And I agree. You could just chuck your 50 mil stake in the beginning and boom, you win 100 mil. But if you lose, you have absolutely zero chance to make it back. So obviously this method is, you have to be very patient, okay? You can't just want to chuck your bank right away. It takes time to make, I guess, a bigger amount of profit. Now I've talked about how you can go on these big losing streaks, but you can also go on these really nice winning streaks. Now, like I said, what I do is once I've made 5 mil, so I've won enough 1 mils in a row, or I've come back from enough losses to make that 1 mil again, and I'm up to, let's say, 55 mil, I go ahead and stake the 5 mil. One, because if I lose, whatever, I'm back to 50 mil. I can just leave after that if I want, and if I feel like staking more, I'll just keep doing the 1 mil method. But if I win, boom, 10 mil profit. Now for me, I've never really had problems walking away from the dual arena. If I made 15 mil, I'm like, all right, I'm done. No need to make any more. And that's exactly where I know a lot of people have problems. They can't walk away with that small amount of profit, or they don't walk away with a big amount of profit, the profit that they really wanted. And it really comes down to the player. Some people want to make a huge amount of profit at the dual arena. They don't only want to leave with 10 mil profit. They want to leave with 100 mil profit. For me, I'm totally satisfied with 10 to 15 mil profit. That's just, I don't know. Some people are like that, some people aren't. But yeah, guys, look forward to the video where I lose 20 stakes in a row and I make a video saying that this method doesn't work. But yeah, anyways, no, for the past 6 years, every time I've gone staking, this method has worked for me. And yeah, I thought I'd share it with you guys. Now, a lot of you are going to say it doesn't work. Probably getting a lot of dislikes on this video, but whatever. I thought you guys might be interested in it. Anyways, yeah, like I said, make sure to leave your staking stories, or if you have any staking methods, leave them below. And if you guys do try out this double method, let me know if you make any profit. I wish you luck. And thank you guys all for watching. I hope to see you next time. Have a good one, and peace.